Welcome back to the official Thompson Resume Writing Company YouTube channel. I am Tamika Thompson. I am the owner and resume writer at Thompson Resume Writing Company, and for this video I'm going to be discussing all of the perks of job hopping. Now, the professional world will have you thinking that job hopping is this terrible thing and you are an unreliable, undependable, unstable person if you do it, but that could not be further from the truth. As somebody who has job hopped and bopped all over the place multiple times, there are a lot of advantages and benefits to job hopping, and you should absolutely, positively, 100% do it if you want to. And here's why. Let's get right into it. First on this list is that you are guaranteed most times to make more money. Say what you want about job hoppers, but they are making more coins, okay? And I am somebody who can attest to this. Each and every single time that I have changed jobs or switched jobs, I have always made more money, and it has been worth it to change jobs rather than stay in a position that was keeping me at the same salary. I have not stayed in a position for longer than 2.5 years making the same amount of money. In one position in particular, I actually left after 6 to 8 months of gaining a couple of new skills and was able to increase my salary immediately by 10 to 15% after I was able to learn that skill and I was able to apply it elsewhere. It's estimated that each time a U.S. worker changes jobs, they make 10 to 20% more than they were making before. If you are in your current position and you've been there for more than 3 years and you're staying at the same salary, but you are increasing your skills, maybe you've gone back to school, you've got a certificate, or you just want to make more money and you find that those advancement opportunities are not at your current company, it may be time for you to consider hopping jobs. But before you job hop, maybe you want to try to go for a promotion, or maybe you want to see if you would be eligible for a salary increase. That is okay, but if you don't get it, if they deny it, if they reject it, you do have the opportunity to leave. Next on this list is that you're able to gain new skills quicker and sooner. So again, in your current position, you may have been there for a while and maybe you have mastered your role and there are no new challenges or no new skills that you can learn to be able to advance your skill set or grow your skill set. In that case, you may want to consider taking on a new job or hopping to a different job. Now, this can include hopping to a different industry altogether, or maybe taking a step up in your career. So if you're a specialist, maybe going for a management position so that you can start gaining new skills and getting new skills under your belt. Growing your skills and expanding your skill set over time is a surefire way to increase your earning potential over time. Outside of education and experience, skills play a crucial role in us applying to jobs and being eligible and qualified for those jobs, especially if you're someone who has a set career trajectory and you know exactly where you want to be in the next 3 to 5 years or 10 years from now, and you know the skills that you need to have to be able to get there. If you find in your current position you're not able to develop that skill or get that skill either through your day-to-day tasks or projects or being able to take a course or something, then it may be time for you to consider job hopping elsewhere so that you can gain those new skills to get to where you need to go. Next on this list is that it helps you expand and grow your network over time. So if you work for a small company, this can be especially important. So if you've been with a small company for the past 3 to 4 years or longer, the only people that you may have in your professional network, if you're not actively networking outside of your job, are the people that you work with, and that can be the same 10 to 15 or 30 people, maybe 100 people, which doesn't give you a lot of exposure. And networking is super important for your career. I can't stress enough how important it is to make sure you're always growing your professional network. It's estimated that up to 80% of jobs are filled through networking alone, meaning that if you have a connection to someone or you know someone who knows someone, you can potentially get a job off of that affiliation. If you haven't changed jobs in a while, or you don't work for a large company that allows you the opportunity to constantly meet new people and get connected to new people, that can be a reason to job hop. For me, with each time that I've job hopped, I added at least 10 to 15 people within my network, and that ended off paying off in the long run, especially during my last job search, because I was able to secure a number of interviews just because I knew someone who knew of my career background and my experience, and that was able to get me a foot in the door. Growing your network is extremely important, and you want to make sure at least once a year or once a quarter you're doing something where you can get your face or your name in front of new people. And sometimes job hopping is a surefire way to be able to do that. Each time that you change jobs, you are instantly exposed to a web of new people. So if you're someone who is really intentional about growing your network, changing jobs every 2 years or every year or however way you see fit can be a great way to meet new people quicker and faster. Number 4 on this list is that you are adaptable and that you can handle change. I remember at one point I was changing jobs literally every 4 to 6 months. I was just hopping around trying to figure out what was the best fit for me. And I didn't realize it at the time, but it actually was flexing my resilient muscle. It was making me more resilient and more adaptable to where I can come into a new environment, get acclimated very quickly, learn what I needed to learn, understand all the functions of the department, and immediately kick off or start off running in my position. You don't know it, but that is super important. For people who have been at the same job for 3+ years or more, think about the last time that they have been introduced to something new or a new environment. The longer you stay in a job, the harder it may be for you to, number one, even think about change, because people who stay in the same role for 3 years or longer sometimes don't make a transition or a change unless they have to, unless there's a certain goal that they're aiming for. So maybe they want to be promoted and it takes some time. And then number 2, when a change does happen or when you do transition, it can be harder for you to acclimate or adjust to that new environment. But if you are constantly job hopping, or if you job hop every 1.5 years or 2 years or 2.5 years, you're constantly flexing that muscle and you are able to adapt to new environments quicker, which is super important. And especially if you work in a slow-paced environment. So if you work in a fast-paced environment, you may be used to change all the time and it's no big deal for you, and that's great. But for people who work in slower-paced environments or more routine environments where you're just doing the same thing every single day and there's no switch up, flexibility, adaptability, and dealing with change may be a challenge that you face in your job search. Last on this list is that you have the opportunity to diversify your resume in terms of adding new experiences that can be valuable to other jobs. So for me, like I said, I've job hopped multiple times. I've job hopped industries, careers, all types of things. And the one thing that I can say is by adding a host of different experiences to my resume, that did work to my advantage in the long run. I did record a video kind of outlining my story of how I landed my dream job, and the past experiences that I had in my career, although it was a little choppy and I had, a different position every 6 months and I did get grilled about that, at the end of the day, it added a number of skills to my resume that other people did not have, simply because I wasn't doing the same thing with each job that I took, or I didn't take one job and I had been like a sitting duck there for the past 5 years. And not to say that if you've been in the same position for the past 5 years that you are a sitting duck, but sometimes being able to switch up your positions can diversify your skill set and your experiences in a different way that can work to your advantage in the long run. So let's say right now you are in the insurance industry, but you hop over to, let's say, the tech industry, and then you hop over to the healthcare industry, and then you go to the financial industry. Each of those industries can give you a new perspective and a new set of skills that you may not have had before had you kept the same job. So switching up your jobs and job hopping can give you a number of new skills that can add to your earning potential, your education, and your capabilities. So it is something for you to consider. So those are some of the perks of job hopping. If you are a job hopper and you are proud to be so, I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. If you like this video, if you enjoyed it, or if you learned something new from it, go ahead and give me a like. Go ahead and hit the thumbs up button down below. If you have more questions about job hopping that I did not answer in this video, feel free to go ahead and leave me a comment down below and I'll be sure to reply. If you need assistance with your resume, if you're thinking of job hopping, feel free to reach out to me directly. directly. My email address is hello@thompsonresumes.com. You can also visit my website at www.thompsonresumes.com. For more career and resume related content from me, feel free to connect with me on social media. My LinkedIn profile name is Tamika Thompson, and my Instagram handle is @_Mika Thompson. I do have an email list that you can subscribe to by clicking the link in the description box down below. If you are watching this video and you are not subscribed to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so that you can join my growing YouTube community. And again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time with another helpful video. Bye!